relationships with people are hard. That's that's what I realized in my 19 years of lifetime. And I'm not really sure what I'm doing at this point in life. I mean, technically, I have some skills, yes, but I wouldn't say they are social skills per se. It's just, basic skills like, I don't know, probably boiling water or something. But social skills is something that everyone of us has struggled at least once in their lifetime. Now, I'm not saying that, that we should continue struggling because, like, at some point we will definitely move past that. I'm just saying that it's really hard to be in that part of your life. I mean, golly, I recently tried. Like I'm saying relationships are hard in a general sense. Like not only to through romantic relationships, but also friendships. Recently I tried entering the dating space, and later on I figured out that things isn't really that easy. I mean, I've had like um I've had uh what do you call this? I had flings at the very least. But I wouldn't say that that counts, especially when I think there's a stark difference between flings and actual efforts to get in a serious relationship with someone. I mean, you don't really experience that every day. Not everyone is lucky enough to encounter someone that has mutual feelings with them. I mean, uh, take me as an example. I never really had any relationships in high school. I was so focused in like doing my own thing, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, you know, having a relationship that early in your childhood is not something that I personally think that having a relationship in high school is not something that you should be proud of, but it's something. It teaches a lot of things apparently, and I missed that because nobody actually really had any interest in, or at least I didn't know if there's any. No, nobody gave me a heads up or something. I just don't hear anyone say anything about it. Maybe there are people that actually like me back then, but I wouldn't be confident about that given that I never really even heard any rumors per se. It's just that. And I don't know if I look terrible or should have, but that was a lingering with um bad feelings towards myself should be done by everyone. I don't recommend it. mm, but yeah, as I was saying, um I have no experience on dating besides flings, and like I said earlier, I wouldn't consider that accounting experience because flings is really just doing something with someone in a very short time. It's like how seasonal friendships work. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I see it as that. Seasonal could be seasonal friendship, but like with a bit of um you know trying to like I kid you not. I'm not even trying to see if there's any potential. It's just a one-time thing. It's like going to a prostitute and then but like you don't pay with anything. You just pay with words, and then hours later you're doing something questionable. So when I actually tried to enter something as serious as an actual relationship with someone, I have no idea what I'm doing. And so we ended up, well, we lasted for 4 months, and that's genuinely surprising because usually I would be hanging out, I would be seen hanging out with someone, but um it wouldn't be um what was I saying? I would be seen hanging up with someone, but like I said, it just doesn't last that long. It's just like flings, you know how if you know how flings work. And I didn't really like it that way. So I woke up one morning and decided that, you know what, I don't want to do flings anymore. This is shit. Everything is shit. It feels terrible to just have like one seasonal closeness with someone. Like I crave for that long term thing. And I mean, I'm not sure if everyone has been there before, but it's generally an interesting concept that I want to, I want to engage in. So I met this someone, right? And we lasted for like 4 months, more or less. And what I found is generally annoying. And that span of 4 months, I managed to like uncover all of the messed up things about myself. Like, for example, how socially unaware I am, how self-destructive I am. I really, seriously, I just recently figured out how negative I was towards myself because that person that I met, right? He's a guy, by the way, and he told me when he was at the time that he was trying to, like leave me or something. I don't know how that unfolds or what term should I use in that. Um, he told me that he was basically emotionally drained by just um what do you call this? Interacting with me because I was profusely negative towards myself that he just couldn't bear the weight. I mean, basically, he just carried it by himself because I was I was transparent with him. Like, no, transparency is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, you know. Transparency is not a bad thing. The issue was I was transparent with him with like so many messed up things, or like I was open with him down to my anxiety. Like I did not hold back any kind of information with him. It's just I told him everything, even my worries, to the point that it's like it's like saying like I want to share my worries with you. And I thought at the time that was a good thing because I was trying to be I was being transparent with him. No, the thing is you don't. There are some things where there's just some things you just shouldn't tell because it's actually emotionally draining for them. And at that part, maybe I cannot comprehend the concept of that because in all my life, or I mean, starting in elementary through high school, never really had any um, you know, friendships that would actually teach me proper social awareness. So I never knew that that was not a good thing. That being transparent about every single thing that you could think of, because the human mind is powerful, right? And you could think of a lot of things, and not all of those things are great things. So sharing it with someone could potentially be harmful than good. if I didn't try to engage with trying to be in a relationship with that person, I don't think I would ever know that, or at least I would have known it late, but probably with a different someone else. And it sucks, honestly. It sucks losing someone through, that way, because you know, knowing the fact that you know he didn't choose me, or that he didn't want to give me a chance anymore, just because there are some social cues that I don't know at the time, when I am supposed to know that already. That's just generally painful to me. It's hard to progress, thinking about it, thinking about it, and thinking about it over and over, because I was actually mindfully reviewing where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? Because someone wise told me that you get to learn with these you get to learn from your past relationship. You don't just learn overnight. So you gotta review. You only see your mistakes once you review them and see them in a light that, um, in a rational light, where you're not completely overwhelmed by, um, being in love with someone. And so I kept thinking about it, apparently a whole lot. Like, I've been I've been telling my friend about it, and even she told me that it was bad. No. I was that oblivious for her to find the need to tell me that it was bad. I don't I just wanted to, you know, want someone for once, to be with someone for once. I mean, it's a lonely world, and I get it. You don't need someone to stay alive. I get it. I get that part. You don't need someone to stay alive, or like you don't need someone to. All you need is yourself, honestly. But I am so sorry to say that it's really hard for me to accept that fact. Like, I've been trying to think of it for a few days now, and I am annoyed about the fact that I simply can't, that life simply doesn't feel like living. If anything, if it just feels like a living nightmare. Knowing the fact that I messed up, I owe to self, I owe a lot to that mistake. Like, it's not even like, a lot of people would say, right? A lot of people would say that, hey, it's not wrong. It's not your mistake that you didn't know any better at the time. Every one of us has been there, but it's like one of those feelings, right? Where you were riding in a car, and then there's a car crash, and then you were the only one who survived. It's like, it's that feeling. It's the survivor's feeling. I think that's what it's called. It guilts me over the fact that I could have known better and I did not, and it annoys me it fucks me over and over again mentally. It's a torture, honestly. And I don't know if, like, I mean, I told someone else about it, and I'm glad I found people who understand me. There's also, after that catastrophe happened, and I was like, well, that happened. After that, a few weeks later, I invited my one of my friends. You know, we've been friends for a pretty considerate considerably long amount of time. I'd say like 4 5 years, I think. We've been friends like that, and you know, we went out and we had fun, and he told me that it's like, hey, he gave me a heads up. It's like, hey, I have my dad's side of the families here. They are homophobic, and so please don't, keep yourself down. And I understand, right? Like, I understand the situation. Like, we cannot change those kind of people. You know, it's hard to change their soul if they don't like gays. That's basically their problem, honestly. But then Dan was caught up with, Dan was caught up in that problem. No, he was caught up in that problem, right? And um, what basically happened is that basically innocent people are, you know that are not supposed to be in the situation are in the situation, like him, that friend. And so they were we were in the dining area, right? We were eating dinner, and I was trying to be like that one social butterfly. That's kind of my thing for a while now. So I was trying to hyper carry everyone because I don't want to have any dead air. I mean, there's my cousin who met my friends just for the first time. There's also my friend's friend, which is also my first time in meeting him. And everyone is not used to everyone. Like there's the five of us, but the two of us are completely new in the atmosphere, and so the energy that we give could potentially be alienating for those people. And so at the time, I was thinking of like trying hard to not uh, let these people feel that they're out of place, because that I don't want them to feel like that. I know exactly how terrible it feels to be left out of the conversation, and so I kept on engaging with those with my with the people that I'm with, right? And so while that was happening, uh basically, um my friend was not, he was not it. Okay, he was not that. He was not it today, basically. And so what basically happened is like, um, uh, we were having a conversation, and like we started talking about sexuality and stuff, and we started throwing banter at each other like we usually do. And he didn't, or at least I didn't see it, but he was not feeling at ease, right? He was not feeling okay at that part, and I don't know what was happening. So everyone went. So we proceeded with the evening. Everyone went home. Everyone went home, right? And I told him my goodbye remarks when we were splitting our ways. And then when I went home, I suddenly got a message on our friendship group chat, and it was him. He sent like a long thread that message, throwing, he was complaining at me for everything. He was like mad. He was just mad because he told me that I was throwing banter about being homosexual when the homophobic family is literally right there. And I kid you not, I was confused as hell. I'm not confused until now because I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get the memo that they were here in the, the food area, like the dining area. I don't know that. I just know that they were. You only told me that they were in the, in the area, but I didn't know where exactly they are. You just told me that they are in fact, in the area, and so I should be cautious. And I think on my, I think the mistake on my part for not being very cautious because I um I still went on all in. I didn't even adjust to the fact that they were there. I didn't although I know that they were in the area, I didn't become cautious. I just continued, you know, being me. And I'm a bit of a chatterbox. I tell a lot of things, and my voice is very, like, it's very high. All right, so as I was saying, right, so the family was there, and I was being loud and stuff, and we were talking about sexuality, and like, we were throwing banter after banter after banter, and I didn't. Unfortunately, I am not socially skilled enough to see the um unease with my friend. And so that ended with, well, him being mad. When I got home, I read his message. It was pretty lengthy, not gonna lie. I did really read the first half of it um earlier, and then I just read it later on, right? And then he was throwing he was mad. Okay, he he went on like a um full blown breakdown, and like he snapped. That's the term. He snapped. He snapped to me, and he when he snapped to me, he told me that I was stupid, right? That I was, well, that's not his exact words, but like what he basically told me was I was so, like, something around, something along the lines of me being, like, arrogant, because why would you talk about my sexuality? He was like, why would you talk about my sexuality when you know very well that my family is right there? Like, you talked about my sexuality. You are exposing me. You are humiliating me in front of them. Like, they were the only source of income that our family had, and you have to do that to me in front of them. Like, how oblivious can you get? And I was like, I just sent him a very brief apology. I was like, I am so sorry that I am not socially aware enough to see through that. I am sorry that if I'm supposed to know that, I'm sad of the fact that I didn't know any better. I am sad of the fact that you feel humiliated by me, and that you know very well that that was never my intention in any capacity. Like, why exactly would I want to humiliate him in the first place? Like, that's not supposed to be a thing to me. That's not on brand, at least. Uh, and after that happened, right? He was mad at me and stuff, and I was like, I he told me all of that stuff, right? And I was like, you could have communicated that better. Like, we could have talked about that better. Like, you could have just gave me a heads up to, like, hey, my family is in the dining area. Can you please keep it down? I would have done that I would have done exactly that. Like I'm not gonna hesitate because I care about you. And then when I froze my rebuttal, he went on full mode and tell me that I was gaslighting him and all that stuff. And then he blocked me. And I'm not really sure where I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm like maybe I should have known better. I don't know. Like I just know I just accepted the fact that I did something wrong, and I am reflecting on it. I was taking notes, literally taking notes of it, because right now I'm currently in the path of trying to improve my way of thinking and the way that I see myself and the way that I act towards people. And that happened twice now already, like uh a good relation ended just because um they were not communicating what exactly they need from me. And so they end up like ending the relation and then proceeding to tell me what they need after they made that decision. Right, and that happened twice now already. That was actually the second time. My friend and I, the friend that I've been with for so long, and then he just started bursting out. That was the first time that I've seen him do that. But he did not communicate that well to me what I needed to know. Like it could have been such a crucial information for me to know of the fact that they were there. Like there's an option to leave there so we can continue the banter, or we could have just, stayed there and just behave for the sake of it. Like I could have done that, right? And I just never knew that information. I just know that they were in the place, but I don't know which part of the place. Like there's the playground, there's the soccer field, there's like other dining areas here. Like it's a park of all places. It's a big park, and I never knew that they were in the dining area the same as us. And now I'm just pissed off because I I was like, why are you mad? Why are you throwing shade at me? I didn't know about that part. Like they were talking about exactly that thing. He was informing everyone in the table of the fact that his dad's side of the family is there. I was not on that table because I was in the counter ordering our food. I was not in the conversation when he informed everyone about it. That's why I'm frustrated because like I could have I could have known that information. I could have fixed it for you, right? And I've seen like yeah, I've told that it's happened twice, right? The first time that it happened was with the guy that I tried dating with, the one that I was talking about earlier. Like the person that I'm trying to date with. Um, so um, the course of 4 months, in the course of 4 months, I thought everything was doing well until one day he just snapped and he just went full blown mad at me. He told me anything and everything that I wished to know earlier, right? I was asking him if everything was all right, and I never knew that he was lying to me. He was just, he already knows something that I could have known, but he was not telling it to me. He just told me after he made the decision that he wants to end the relation. And what makes me frustrated is like it could have fixed with a simple conversation because like I thought that I thought we both know that communication is an important. is an integral part of a relationship with literally anybody that classifies as a human for them to be able to sort things out. And it just fell apart. I'm the image of him slowly, the image of his smile slowly dying while in the whole course of that relationship was really annoying for me. And we're not even in a relationship for that, for God's sake. And I was already losing him before I even get the chance to be with him. You know, that's the most annoying part. What's also annoying is that we actually had like a common hate for someone, for a certain someone. I'm not going to specify what happened exactly on that. I'm just going to say that that person was just not okay. Period. And we both don't like that person. And as he ended our relations, he started treating me the same as that person that we hate. Like, am I really that bad? Like, is it really, am I really that terrible of a person for you to treat me the same as that person that we both hate? Like, I could be in the wrong here, you know? I'm not sure. This is just my side of the story, and I'm not sure if you can ask him on his side of the story, but I, I'm just pissed at that fact, you know? It happened twice, and so I think, oh, you know what? Maybe I was in the wrong here because it happened twice. So, you know, someone wise had told that if you experience something, the same thing multiple times, that you're probably the problem. And so now I was thinking, you know what? I might just be the problem in this part because it happened twice to the it happened twice to different people. Like completely different people. It's like it's my friend and someone else, but then the thing that happened is the same. They could have communicated it better, but they didn't communicate it better, and so the relation fell apart. And so now I'm thinking, am I the one that is not communicating better? Am I supposed to know better? Am I? And so, if I should know better, what are the things that I should be learning by now? And within the course of this month, I've been trying to figure out myself, right? You know, like like currently, I am generally happy with myself and my current state of being right now, and I don't know how long until it starts falling apart again, or if I'm gonna recover after that, or when I'm not gonna be okay again. I just know that I'm okay now, for now, at least. And I'm a little bit. I'm hoping a bit positively for the future. I genuinely hope that the future holds better things for me to behold, right? But now I'm not sure if I'm making enough progress to be considered good enough. And so I'm stuck with you're not doing good enough, but then also you're doing something, so that's something to be proud of because you're doing something. You're progressing through things, even if it's a small it's a small step toward something. It's a step, and you're doing something. But then I kept the at the back of my mind, there's something this the sentiment of the fact that I'm not doing it good enough is stuck with me, and it's fucking annoying, right? I don't like this. I don't enjoy that feeling. I don't know how am I gonna deal with that, but I'm trying. I'm trying to do better for if I were to meet new people, I want to do better because I want to have improved relationship with other people, right? Like I cannot. I told myself if I were to go if I were to if I were to come back to that guy that I tried being in a relationship. Because seriously though, I want him back. He's great. No, he's good. Great might be an exaggeration. He's good because he he managed to unearth my personal issues. Not in a bad way. Like he's not abusing me or anything for it. He was just, he was very analytical and he was very communicative. He managed to unearth those because he was that good, I guess. So I genuinely look up to him when I'm trying to progress myself because he is a sort of a standard because he's great. Respect for him. Okay, he's just he's doing great. His GWA was like around like what 1.25, 1.50. I cannot even be in the dean's listers and he's out there being a president. It's just good. It's just good. And academics and being a person, he's doing great. His personality is just it just piques my interest. Like he's not bad enough to cause harm, but he's not good enough to not be questionable. That's what my tastes are in people, not just men. Like could be in women. And uh yeah, I'm not sure if that makes me a messed up person. You could consider me a messed up person. I don't really give a flying fuck about that. I mean, I have my own preferences. You have your own preferences. We all have different preferences, right? But what I'm trying to say is that I'm in, I'm in the, I'm in that stage of my life where I'm stuck, and relationships really are that hard, not only for the romantic ones, but for the platonic ones, the friendships. Any kind of relations, it's hard. When you get past that confidence to talk with someone and actually start a conversation with them, I never knew that there are a lot of problems that would arise in the horizon. Things doesn't always go my way, and that's okay, right? Like it's not always gonna go your way. I mean, I hope everyone knows that, and it's okay that things doesn't go your way. I mean, that are the um those are the moments that really humbles you down. That makes you remember that you're just a human, and you're not perfect, and you make mistakes, and everybody else makes mistakes, and so you know you shouldn't hold anyone else um, wrong for it, including yourself, because putting yourself down just because you made a mistake is not a healthy way of dealing with your issues. I just i just hope that I improve well enough to sustain good relationships, healthy relationships, not just romantic ones, but the friendship ones. I hope I do good. I just hope, and I'm trying my best here, right? For everyone else that feels the same way as I am, I guess the only thing that I could just say is just don't stop trying. It's better to die trying than die without even trying. It's just better. He told me that, that person that I'm trying to date, he is still the one that inspires me to do good, do good, and I hope I hope for the best. I guess. If anyone is watching this, thank you for sitting down. It is as therapeutic at the very least that I get to tell someone else about something. Yeah, yeah. I'll stop it from here, I guess.